Hello and welcome to the Sounds of Salisbury podcast. I'm Alex.
I'm Ellen.
And we're here to bring you the sounds of the Salisbury music scene.
And the voices of the community. And boy, there was a lot of voices yesterday.
There were a lot of voices and a lot of sounds.
Figgle, figgle, figgle.
Fest.
Well, firstly, congratulations, Tina, Jackie, and the crew. It was a phenomenal day. I had my doubts with the lineup, whether it was all going to work, because it was crammed, absolutely from start to finish, crammed. But it went beautifully, smoothly. I was very impressed with the organisation, and obviously BSM Stage Tech doing their amazing job as well.
Yep.
The day
Brian,
was
Steve, and Steve. Not confusing at all.
No.
It was. I totally agree with you. It was a heck of an effort to get all of the acts and everything over the line. Some had to, drop a song here and there to make sure that everything stayed on track. But there was no kind of like, there wasn't a diva moment from anybody, was there? It's all good. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah, and it flew.
It went so fast. Yeah, we got there. It was just after 11:30 in the morning, so that we could be there from start to finish, and we were there from start to finish, and it did go so fast. But I also love that people were there from start to finish. Sometimes you turn up to these festival style events and you get there early, and the first act generally doesn't have many people in the audience, and sometimes by the last act a lot of people have gone home. Not FiggleFest.
Never FiggleFest. Never. People are literally there. It says 12 o'clock, and they're there before. They're getting their space. They're getting their chairs out, and kids are off doing what they want to do, and the adults are like, right, it's officially midday. Let's crack a beer and get on with it, And so that's what we love about it. We've been loads and loads of times.
Yeah, it's every year. It's the thing I look forward to the most, and it's never disappointed. So if you haven't been to FiggleFest, people, we are going to talk about it today, and I do recommend you put it in your calendars for next year.
I don't believe she's given a date yet. I don't think Jackie did for next year. Not yet.
No, not yet.
Don't remember her saying that. Don't remember a lot, really.
Wow, you must remember the start. So it started at 12 o'clock and kicked off by the Evolution Choir. We've had Evolution Choir, Lily Badcock, on the podcast before. So if you want to find out a little bit more about what they do, please do go back and listen to the podcast called Evolution. But they're just such an uplifting group of singers, just all having fun, playing with the songs as well. The arrangements and the mashups just really gets you into that let's have a good day vibe.
Yeah, I mean, they have a wonderful time on stage doing what they do, which it just makes you smile, and it just brings such a positive note to just the people watching. But they're going to come off stage absolutely buzzing as well. And what was wonderful is, there was I think there was probably about 15, give or take 15, maybe 20 people in the choir, and they all finished, and then they all sort of congregated down at the front of the stage and just sort of sat in their chairs and on their picnic blankets and stuff, and were having an absolute blast. And it was really cool because it then made it feel like it was okay to be this close to the stage and really, excuse me, just get involved. It was fantastic, and that's one thing I do love about FiggleFest. The crowds, the audience have such an appreciation of every act. There's never kind of like you just playing a song and you don't get any reaction. They're always complimentary. They always come and speak to you afterwards, but they always show that they're enjoying it and they're listening, and that's so important.
It really is. Yeah, definitely. So they did 45 minutes. I could have listened to them for the rest of the festival, but you got to give the other acts their slot as well. And then up next we had Hamlet Peter, People might know Hamlet from his solo acoustic stuff. They might know him from HP and the Reggae Sauce. And you did a bit of Googling and found out that he's also
in Tramps and Amps, who I believe are playing Sunday at the Mayor's birthday bash, I think.
Oh, yeah,
I do believe so.
Yeah.
I may be completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. Yeah, so Hamlet has been around for absolutely ages, it feels. He's played Figgle a few times with HP and the Reggae Sauce, and that's always a great vibe. Always a great vibe. But he just brings this kind of smoothness to the way he plays and the way he sings. His voice just makes you kind of, I'm having a wonderful day. Having a wonderful day. He always plays with a smile on his face. Such a lovely fella.
Really nice.
Absolutely brilliant way to kind of then kick things off even more. To be honest, that's, he was one of my favourites from yesterday. It just made me want to get on stage and try and do more to show, to keep that level of energy up.
Yeah, because you were on next.
I was.
Yeah, 1:30 till 2.
Yep. That was great. I love Figure. I've played there 4 or 5 times, either as myself, obviously as myself, don't play as a pseudonym, or with Park Island. So Cam and Nicole. Hey, more ex-guests from the show. We're just name dropping everyone today. But yeah, just figure for a performer, they just are so appreciative, and that just helps you level up and really sort of try and play as best as you can. I've managed to not do any songs that referenced weather in any way, shape, or form after my Stowfest incident last week, where I played one song and that was the only time in the entire day it rained. So I was not to blame for any rain that came at FiggleFest. And it did come, but it didn't dampen anybody's spirits.
It certainly did not.
No chance.
No, people were still dancing in their ponchos with their umbrellas.
Yeah.
And then, a bit later on in the day, everyone just sacked off the ponchos and the umbrellas that were wet. Let's just party in the rain. It was great. So after Alex Morgan-Wardrop, who I very, very much enjoyed, my dear.
And I'll let go of your leg now.
We had the first full band on in Passenger Club, one of the bands that Colin Holton is in. So that was his first performance of the day. I love Passenger Club. I forget how smooth they are, because I'm used to the bands that Colin Holton does, being a bit sort of punk and a bit louder, should we say. But they were, great songs.
They were. They're just, I'm going to say this about everybody that performed. Okay. They're one of my favorite acts because they are just smooth. It's a great word to describe them. When I listen to them, I think of the great Paul Weller album, Stanley Road. I'm sure it's Stanley Road, pretty confident. Where it's mellow, but there's upbeat tones, and it just makes you feel good. These guys are immaculately superb on their, when they're playing. Vocally absolutely brilliant, and they do a bit of chop and change as well.
Yeah,
so Colin kind of plays the bass for a bit, and then he'll take a guitar, and they all all have they've got like 4 vocalists, that all kind of do a song. And that's brilliant because it keeps you on your toes. It's not just, there's the formulaic band. Absolutely superb. And they, I think, have got a new song coming out on Friday called A Song for No One. So that will be added straight away to the Sounds of Salisbury Spotify playlist. Salisbury and somewhere in between. But please check it out. please check it out.
Yeah, do check it out. After that, 2:45, we had the amazing Georgie Amelia.
Haven't we had her on the podcast as well?
Yes, she's
It's like,
also been
what?
on the podcast. So please, if you want to know more about her, please check that out. She, again, never disappoints. Her voice is just effortless. And, you know, you kind of want to hate her for it. But you can't, because she's just so lovely. And yeah, it's perfection every time she gets up.
She has an immaculate voice. Absolutely immaculate voice. I totally agree. And her song choices were really clever as well. They really highlight her voice, but they were unusual song choices, stuff that you don't generally hear people perform that often. So really, really clever. Kept the audience on their toes. Really kept them engaged. You know, people singing along to stuff. Yeah, and she's hugely busy this past weekend. She performed at the Andover Carnival today. So, because this is Sunday today, which is why we're all a bit croaky and we're actually drinking water. We feel like we're letting you down, but you know, yeah. Please, if you get the opportunity, Georgie is also performing at the Mayor's Birthday Bash on Sunday with her band In Colour. So you know, please get into the Market Square. It's absolutely free to go, so why not go? And you know, check them out. And what I will also say is, follow these guys, all of them, all of the acts that performed, you know, on their socials. You know, interact with them, because that just helps them even more. It's a really, really important part of what they're doing. And you know, without that interaction and the followers and the shares and the likes, you know, it's very difficult for them to be able to get out there and do more, engage more. So please do that.
Lovely.
Rant over.
Done. So straight after her at 3:15, we were joined on the stage by Lump.
Never heard of
them. Well, they're kings of mongrel rock, and they sing stories of Salisbury. And they are, again, Colin Horton is in this band. So this is the loud band. People like to hear them, so I think they just purposefully turn up the volume. And yeah, we know most of their songs now, and a lot of people at FiggleFest know their songs, so they're original songs. But they're catchy. You can pick up quite quickly on the lyrics and sing along. They also had a guest drummer, because their drummer was unavailable yesterday. So that was a delight to see Thor.
Yes, Thor Porter from Love Is Enough. That's funny. Your reaction was hilarious, because you were just pointing at the stage going, look. I'm like, yeah, it's Thor. I know. Tell me. Yeah. Thor, I think with Lump, it's all about energy. You know, when you've got somebody like Nick Gowman on bass, you can't help but feel the energy. And then you've got Colin and Ian on guitar and vocals, really just bringing that old school punk vibe. And then the other Colin, drummer, wasn't available, so Thor comes in, and that just oh my goodness, losing one's voice. That just amps up even more, because Thor is incapable of hitting a drum, you know, softly, quietly. It's like, oh, you've got your guitar amps turned up to 11. Well, I'll smash my drums at 13. So, and we love that. His energy is absolutely superb.
Yeah, that was a great set.
Yeah, and they played one of my favorites from their set. I love Air Force One.
Oh, I love Air Force One.
Absolutely love that song. Again, they've got loads of stuff on Spotify, as a lot of the acts that have performed have. So please check them out on all your streaming services. But yeah, Lump, Air Force One. Didn't play Greg's. I was a little disappointed, but time restrictions. You know, everybody was kind of under it and had to stick to it, because otherwise they got the stare from Jackie. She'd walk past the stage and just look at them, and you knew, oh crikey, okay, I may be overrunning a little bit.
She managed that stage superbly. I mean, I said it at the beginning, the way she had timed it, I just thought there is no way this is going to work, but she was all over it. And it was like, right, you're off, you're on, go, and the sound guys were like straight there.
A lot of credit has got to go to Brian, Steve, and Stephen. They worked so hard to try and get those changeovers done as quickly as possible, getting on there and doing on stage sound checks before pushing it through the front of house. They worked tirelessly, and they all looked absolutely shattered by the end of it.
I only caught Brian eating once. He must have been busy. Don't worry, it's on the video.
Oh dear.
Okay, so then 4 o'clock, we had the wonderful Joe Burke. He's an alternative indie folk rock style. Fantastic, absolutely. I mean, his vocals are smooth and kind of takes you to a beautiful mellow place, and then his guitar skills are, well,
they're insane.
I feel like I'm being a bit repetitive with my how everyone's awesome chat.
That's because they are. I mean, you had the chance to say I was rubbish and you didn't, so fair enough.
You did have hold on my leg.
The only kind of artist I can equate Joe to that he reminds me of is Newton Faulkner. They both sort of very intricate in their guitar playing, but it's absolutely mesmerizing. What he does with guitar is beyond my 4 chords and the truth malarkey. It is absolutely stunning. So please, if you get the opportunity, go and check him out. I think he played at the Rude Giant the other day, supporting Rob
Clamp.
Yes, Rob Clamp. Again, another phenomenal guitarist. So they suited each other to a T there, without a doubt. But Joe's, and he's always so humble as well. When he comes off stage, he kind of goes, "Oh, was that all right?" It's like, all right, jeez.
Yeah, because that's when the rain started during his set, and we were a bit like, "Oh, here we go." You kind of look around the field thinking, people are going to pack up and go. No, they stood up and went straight to the front of the stage to have a little dance during his set. To kind of, I don't know whether it was like they were deliberately trying to support him, to let him know, you know what, it's raining, doesn't matter, we're still here, we're still going to party. That's the kind of vibe I got. And it was, it was in full swing. The whole day was in full swing by that point. Before the rain came in, it wasn't going to perturb anybody.
It was not going to stop anyone from having a fantastic time. And boy, did they.
Yes,
I'm sure there are some very, very sore heads today.
Ours included.
Well, it's not too bad, but not too bad now at 6 o'clock in the evening. So it's a little better than it was this morning.
Okay, so now we are 4:15, so we're coming up almost to the halfway point, and then they throw on a band called the P45s. We hadn't seen them before. We didn't really know anything about them. 2 female vocals, and they're just playing all of like the classic hits, the pop bangers, and just really getting the crowd up and dancing. And I thought they were brilliant.
They were definitely kind of the catalyst for more people to move to the front and just really start partying. They were the banter was really good between the 2 singers. The music was excellent, really was. And again, sometimes it is just down to song choice, but they pulled out some brilliant tracks that really worked with the dual vocals. And you just knew, okay, that's now the level to beat, because they're the people that have brought the crowd to the stage to party. Everyone now has to continue that vein. and yeah, they did a brilliant job. I really
They
look forward to go and watch them again because I really enjoyed it.
Definitely. And then we had 5 o'clock. We had Lucas Hardy, again, another podcast guest. So please check out Lucas Hardy's podcast.
That's a great podcast.
It was
actually.
a really good podcast. It was only audio, so you won't
Yeah.
get any video of him, which is a shame because he's a good-looking fella. I think he'd have. He is. I'm going to say it. But yeah, he does like pop, punk, rock, solo stuff by himself. But he only had like 20 minutes, so he'd literally just throw out all of his bangers, all of the songs that you know and sing along to, and keep that happy vibe.
Yeah. Lucas is a proper consummate pro. He's a top fella. He performs absolutely brilliantly. His bands, so him and his band Threemo, will be performing at the Mayor's Bash in the Market Square on Sunday. So that's cool. I will not call him out in a bad way, call him out in a good way. So there was a young lad in our group who just doesn't get to go to concerts. I'm not even sure how old he is.
He's 9.
9, yeah, 9. So I was having the time of his life. Just all of these acts playing, great stuff. He was dancing and just running around the field, having a wonderful time. But there was something about Lucas that really just captured him, and he was just mesmerized. Stopped, watched him the whole way through. And I think at one point Lucas kind of caught his eye and gave him a smile, and that blew him away. He absolutely loved that. So we were like, well, it was you, wasn't it? You so I just went, why don't you come and say hello? And Lucas was so lovely.
He was
absolutely
really
lovely. And it's it's a little thing, and sometimes you don't have to do it. He had another gig that night. He was quite keen to get away, but he spent the time just having a little chat with this young lad, and just I think it's important to do that. But honestly, Lucas, you didn't see his face after you'd gone, but
he was giddy for the rest of the day.
He was smiling and
giddy.
smiling and smiling.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. Thank you. That meant a lot to him.
Yeah. Okay, so we are now kind of at the halfway point, and DJ Sean Ladd was doing some like filler slots whilst the bands and things were getting ready. I say filler slots, that makes it sound, that's terrible. Apologies, Sean. I'm not downgrading what you do. He's got 32 years experience being a DJ, and he did a residency at the Ministry of Sound and Fabric. He is really good at what he does. And there was people outside of his pop-up area dancing, videoing. He kept the party going in between the
key.
live music. Yeah, absolutely. So well done, Sean. He was actually there doing music constantly throughout. I mean, he wasn't allotted to, as it were, but I think he just took that gauntlet and said, you know what, every time there's a 5-minute break, I'll just throw out some bangers. So he really kept the day going. So well played.
Other people that kept the day going, because I'm just going to throw that in there now.
Okay, go.
The food stalls. Oh, we love a good food stall. And there was a wide variety. Always lovely to see my mate Ian Fribbins and his burger van. Always like to catch up with him. He's an absolute top man. And also, tipple. If you didn't bring your own, you need to purchase some. So Sims Catering.
Sims Hospitality.
Hospitality. Sims Catering, Hospitality, and Catering.
They have a really good setup. Their outdoor pop-up bar is visually pleasing, as well as a nice array of drinks to choose from, and the contactless machines and everything. They've got a great setup there. The little festoony lights in there.
So thank you to Becky and Susie.
Yeah, and the rest of the team.
And the rest of the team, obviously.
Yeah, they did a great job. They were there all day, manning from open till close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else can we talk about? FiggleFest has got merch.
Yes.
Merch.
Sadly, they didn't have any t-shirts in our size because we're a bit bigger. So we're going to have to see if we can order some. So Jackie, Tina, we will be in touch.
Yeah, we want a Figgle
We want a Figgle
t-shirt.
t-shirt.
But that's a great addition, and I think that's definitely the way forward.
Yeah,
Without a doubt. Absolutely loved it.
And they had a little what do you call it, program?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bit battered.
Ours is a bit
as
battered.
you can see from the rain.
Yeah.
But I thought that was really good. So they've got the sponsors in there as well, and they've got a little blurb on all of the acts. So that's great. And a shame I haven't got a pristine one. I will keep it, but it's wet.
It's still wet.
Yes.
Okay.
It's still wet. And they had loads of stuff for the kids, inflatables, ball rides. I went on the slide, the inflatable slide, of course I did. And it's all free. Yes.
Did we add that footage to the video? I don't think we did.
Didn't have footage of it.
Did we not?
No.
Oh, no, we did. I took a video.
Oh, well, I didn't realise. So, no, it didn't make it. Yeah, we'll leave that one. I know my kids and my nieces and nephews, I think they did all of the inflatable activities. And one of my nieces even did the dunk tank, which luckily I bought a spare pair of clothes because I thought just in case I get wet with the rain, which then she ended up wearing. So crazy. My family are a bit loon.
And the great thing about the kids' activities is it was all free. The work that Jackie, Tina and the team do throughout the year to ensure that Figgle stays a free festival included this year all of the inflatable stuff that was paid for by the work that they do. So that's incredible because it's a family orientated event, and you need that. You need something to keep the little ones engaged and occupied and happy as well. So, and to tire them out so that the parents and everyone can enjoy themselves a little later.
Yeah. So talking about their fundraising, they have announced this year's Halloween Bash, which will be the 26th of October at the Figheldean Rec Club. Yeah, up at where they actually have the FiggleFest. So you check that out. It's definitely worth going. It's a great night. We've been a few times.
We have.
The fancy dress, people go all out. I love it. If you're going to dress up for Halloween, you want everyone else there to be dressed up for Halloween, and they do.
I'm sure if you trawl through our Facebook page, Sounds Salisbury Facebook page, I'm sure we've got a picture of us at the last one we went to.
We dressed up as the two from Eurovision. Okay. And camping this year. There was a lot of camping. Camping was sold out. So I think next year, if you do want to camp, you're going to have to book your camping pitch early. But the setup was brilliant. So we had all the campers around the outside of the field. Then you had all the food stalls, the bar, the inflatables, stores where you could get face painting, hair things done. I don't know, whatever it is they do with those hair clipping things.
They clip them into hair.
And then they had okay. And then you had the locals that come and they bring their little gazebos, and then there was like a row of those around. And then inside, I like to call the general area where people just come, pitch up their chairs and get on with it. So she'd really organised it. They had really organised it perfectly. And parking. I think Tina and Jackie both mentioned on the podcast when we interviewed them that they had a local farmer's field where you could park for £1. I think Tina was saying at one point it's a bit chaos because the road is very narrow and you can only really get one car down the road. And I think people were trying to come from both ways to the car park, but they were out there. The organisers, anyone in a FiggleFest t-shirt, they were out there making sure that the traffic was running smoothly and people knew where they needed to go. So fantastic job.
And so we move on.
Let's get back to the music.
So, what's this? 5:45. we had, and I'm going to say it because we've already said it a million times already, another podcast guest rocking out BCDC. Break cover does ACDC. And oh my goodness, I've never seen so many grown men in flip-flops run to a stage to start jumping up and down in my entire life. It was right. So Brian from Enford, pink bucket hat. If you're watching this, I'm talking about you and your mates. Absolutely, they're just this huge gang of guys just suddenly like jumping up and down, loving every minute. There was, guitar solos being done, the works, absolutely brilliant. And BCDC just do not disappoint.
Oh, no, they've all nailed their parts
Yeah.
on doing the AC/DC songs. Absolutely nailed their parts. And, you can see them enjoying it as well. They really do. They embrace it, but they're having fun. Just, yeah.
So we've got notes down here just to kind of, just to help us with the little bits and pieces, just to remind us of the things that we've already discussed and kind of thought, oh yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. Under BCDC, Ellen has just written, brilliant. And that's it. That's all we need. We could have just done that, put a big brilliant sign on the screen or something. But yeah, absolutely superb. Please go and check, Break cover or BCDC out because, man, absolutely brilliant.
They were phenomenal. Yeah. Okay, so then 6:30, they had a lady called Linz Sutton. So she was a singer, and so she had like backing tracks and singing really popular songs that everyone could get behind. But you kind of think, is that going to work at this point? We've had all these fantastic bands,
especially after BCDC as well.
Yeah.
They smashed it. Everybody was still hanging around, and then she just strolled on stage, and owned it.
Boom, she was there. I was like, okay, I don't know what I was worried about. She's got this.
Wow.
Yeah, great voice, very versatile in her singing abilities.
Yeah.
But yeah, totally.
And again, song choice. Wow, she just kind of went, you know what? This is a party crowd now. Let's just go.
Let's go, guys.
Oh.
Yeah,
absolutely superb. So she played again a little bit later as well.
Yeah.
So rather than talking about her again, we'll talk about her now. Again, the same just energy. And when she wasn't performing, saw her out in the crowd dancing to the other acts, which is just so cool. That's really, really cool. She was just looked like she was having the best time, and that's how it should be.
FiggleFest. Everyone was having the best time. I know I was living my best life. So after her, 6:45, we had the brilliant Zucchinis. One of the things I really love about the Zucchinis band, in terms of like sound, is they have a keyboard.
Yep.
And I do think that really does add to a live band. Not many bands have got keyboards. And I just,
it does fill a band out. And again, song choices, absolutely brilliant. And you've got two vocal as well, in the sense that Graham is the lead singer, but then you got Ruth on bass, who will jump in and do a song here and there as well. And they just choose phenomenal songs. And what I love is they don't play that often. They're very very choosy in when they do and don't play, and I think that adds to the aura and the allure. The Zucchinis are playing. Well, we're definitely got to be there then. Jeez,
Yeah, definitely. And Ruth Jones, bless her, wasn't very well, but she turned up, plugged in, delivered, and then went back home to her sick bed. So get well soon, Ruth. I hope you're feeling better today, and thank you for turning up.
She did.
Yeah. Yes. So after them, Sean Ladd again did a little filler whilst the headline act was setting up.
Oh yeah.
Well, they're billed as the headline.
I know. And that's they're billed as the headline acts, and that's fair enough. They didn't finish last.
No.
So there's that's how I see that. That's just how I see it. They didn't finish last. I'm gonna keep beating up my stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think you can rightly call them a headline act because wow. Tell us more.
Don't tell me lies. Okay. Yeah, so Fleetwood Collective, obviously, Fleetwood Mac tribute act. I didn't really think I knew that many Fleetwood Mac songs, and they had an hour and a half, which was the longest set for the day. And I just thought, oh, I don't know. I'm going to feel about an hour and a half. But you said it earlier. Surprising how many Fleetwood Mac songs you know.
And you like.
And you, yeah.
And you're singing along to it and you think, oh, it's a Fleetwood Mac song. Wow, okay. Yeah. And they were brilliant. I mean, they must have been at least sort of 7 or 8 of them, maybe, I think, all together.
Yeah.
One absolutely wonderful. Vocally, just the harmonies and just the vibe of it all was absolutely wonderful. It really, really was. It takes me back to the show on Netflix or whatever it was.
Oh,
Daisy Jones and the Six. It's on Disney. Can't remember. Daisy Jones and the Six, because that's kind of loosely based around Fleetwood Mac in some way, shape, or form. And I loved that music. And yeah, you just kind of go, wow, actually, Fleetwood Mac were incredible. And obviously, Stevie Nicks played, was it last weekend? She's been doing, or last week, she's been doing a load of gigs, which everyone has been going to.
Really dark.
Oh, we went really dark then. Oof. The one day of sunshine is now descending into darkness. Yeah, so she played a few, I'm sure it was last week, and everybody's raving about her. She's still got it. She should have just come to Figgle. It'd been great. I think we'd have got her a 10-minute slide. I'd have cut my set down a little bit for her, but
well, we didn't need her because we had Fleetwood
we didn't, because they were superb. They were superb. They were absolutely superb, and I think everybody really, really enjoyed them. Fleetwood Mac fan or not, absolutely nailed it, smashed it.
Yeah. And then after that, Liz Sutton came on again to keep the crowd happy and to keep them upbeat whilst the Fleetwood Collective could get all their stuff off the stage. And then the amazing Glass House could get themselves up and ready. So the transition was smooth because you were focused on Lynn's while she was on the stage. You didn't really even notice the chaos behind. I mean, the lights were flashing and she was singing and you were focused on her. So it was a really well managed transition from one band to the other with her on the front. So, I mean, how do you end a festival that's been this good all day? I mean, arguably there is only one way, and that's to get a phenomenal covers band where they're going to do songs that and they're going to do them really well, and they're going to keep everybody up on their feet. People aren't going to want it to end, and that's exactly what Glasshouse did. Thank you.
And they always do. They always deliver. We've seen them quite a few times, and they've never done a bad gig. Never. I don't think it's in their vocabulary. I really don't. Just superb. Like Alan said, and again, I want to say it again, because God, it's I've completely forgotten what I was going to say.
I don't know, apparently you've said it before, so say it again.
Song choices. They've just come on and they've gone, we're going to send these people home happy and shattered. And we were up and we were dancing from the first song to the last song. Absolutely brilliant. For me, Paul, the vocalist, has got one of the best male voices in the Salisbury scene in the bands around. I just think it's fantastic, and they smashed it. It was so cool. So I understand. I do understand like the headline act, you know, weren't the ones that finished the set because they were the ones that had been pulled in. But to finish the night on a high, you know, Glass House, well done, absolutely brilliant. So thank you.
Right, so I think what we'll do is we'll just say our thank yous and congratulations again to Tina and Jackie, all of the crew that are involved in FiggleFest for making it such a fantastic day, so well organised. BSM Stage Tech again for brilliant staging, brilliant lighting, brilliant sound, and you know, keeping everybody's needs on stage fulfilled. Thanks to the food, thanks to the booze, thanks to the inflatables. Thank you. It was brilliant.
And thank you to all of the acts that took part. You know, bought your A game and loved it.
Roll on next year.
Yeah. We'll be there for sure. Pretty confident.
Right? Yeah. So we've put together a little video clip. It's literally, I think it's like 2.5 minutes long. So we've crammed this whole day into a 2.5 minute video just to give you a flavour, a visual of what the day was like. Enjoy.
For those of you that listen to the podcast, we apologise as you won't be able to see it, but you know, just head over to YouTube. It's all good. But until the next time, we'll see you later.